Islam at the age of 19 in South London, United Kingdom, I can honestly say it was the best thing, the best decision I ever made in my life. It wasn't the easiest decision. To be honest, it was a bit of a scary decision. I was uncertain, I wasn't sure, would I be able to be a good Muslim? I found out Islam was the truth after reading certain books and learning certain things about the religion and how simple it was, but I was uncertain and I was scared that I would fail and I wouldn't be a good Muslim. I remember before I took my Shahada, I spoke to a brother about my decision. I said, I'm going to become a Muslim soon. And this is why it's important when we're giving da'wah that it's not just about the information is correct that we're giving, but we use wisdom and we give that information with the best character. Because the way the brother advised me, may Allah reward him for his intentions, but he made me even more scared about making my decision. He said to me, mashallah, you want to become a Muslim? Bro, and he thought it was a good idea to tell me everything that I do is haram. And that basically everything I know will be haram, and that my life would be so boring and it would be very hard for me as a youngster, 19 years old. He's like, bro, you know that all this music you're doing is haram, you have to stop that, bro. And I said, yeah. I was at the time, as a youngster, thinking, how could music have a problem? And then he's like, you know, these girls that you mix with, this is haram, you can't have no girls as friends. Again, I was thinking, how can you have girls as friends? And he says, you can't go out to parties or clubs. I was like, what, if I don't drink alcohol, can't we just go out just to enjoy ourselves? And he said, no. Well, I said, what about if we're just going out to celebrate a friend's birthday? He said, no, birthdays is haram as well, we don't do birthdays. He said, everything is haram, bro. Even this McDonald's you're eating in London is haram. You can't. And to be honest, I felt scared. I felt like, this is too much for me. I'm only a teenager. I want to enjoy myself. Like, this is too hard. Maybe, I know Islam's the truth, but maybe later on in life, when I'm about 40 years old, and I've had all my fun, and I've done everything I want to do, then I'll embrace Islam, and chill out, and get married, and all that boring stuff. However, this is how a lot of us, I've noticed since I've been speaking amongst the young Muslims, this is how a lot of people think. We seem to think that we can delay it, and we don't hasten towards good. We can delay it till later on in life. We think we've got time till we reach our grandparents' ages. You know, when you go to the masjid, you see all the old people on the front row, mashallah. We think that when we get to their age, they ain't got nothing better to do. They're just looking at their watch. When it's time for salah, they go to the masjid. Us, we're young, we've got so much things to do, so much excitement. We think that when we get to their age, we'll do it. A lot of young people say, when I get married, I will become better, or when I finish university, I'll become better. That's when I'll do good. But the truth is, we're not promised this time, as we all know. And, subhanAllah, when I went to see the brother who I took my Shahada with, he gave me this confirmation that I should speed up, I shouldn't delay, and I could die at any time, and we can die tomorrow. As I was talking yesterday, in my yesterday's speech about the grave, he explained about Qiyamah. So, it made me feel like, okay, we shouldn't delay, and I should get this done straight away. And obviously, this is how we know even one of the people who will be under the shade of Allah on Qiyamah is the youngster, the individual who practiced Islam from a young age. So I knew I had to make this decision. And also, he made me feel a bit more sure and some comfort in my heart when he told me, don't worry so much about the things you're doing bad at the moment. He said, focus on getting to know Allah. Seek knowledge, work on your faith. It's important that you seek knowledge, because once you seek knowledge, then you'll gain more understanding of the purpose of life, more understanding of who your Creator is. And once you understand more, then your faith will increase. And when your faith increases, your iman, your taqwa, your fear of Allah will increase. And when you have this fear for Allah and the love for Allah, then you will start to want to listen and obey all His commands without having any option. So work on seeking knowledge. So I took my Shahada, alhamdulillah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. And going into my first poem, my poetry, after what all the brothers have been speaking about today, and like in this declaration of faith I just said, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam declaring that he is a slave and a messenger of Allah. And we know why he's saying he's a slave and a messenger, because we don't want to confuse ourselves like what's happened with other messengers, where people start to elevate their status. And he doesn't want, when he passes away, people start to worship his grave or worship him or elevate his status. Yes, he's a messenger, mashallah, but he's still just a slave. And he's reminding us that he is just a slave of Allah. And also, me doing poetry or some of us doing speaks, people sometimes come up to you and treat you in a manner which makes you feel like, could make you feel like you're better than, or gives you this certain ego. And I have to always remind myself, I'm just a slave of Allah. We're all the same. We all sit in the same place. We're all just slaves. So, I'm going to go into this piece now, inshallah. Bismillah.